Hi, this is Andy Frith from Sheffield Advanced Motorcyclists on an observed run with Tim Smith on the 16th of July. We just left Bramley and heading towards the M18 roundabout. I just put this bit of film in here because it was a nice slow ride up to these red traffic lights up ahead. Nicely controlled, and they just changed for you. Very, very nicely done. Take up position on the near side lane, and now I just want to suggest to you how far you should be looking ahead. Traffic coming off the roundabout, you'll notice that we've got a line of cars in the near side lane here, so it should be a quick shoulder check and straight into the offside lane here to pass all these cars. Now, you did do this eventually, but it took us a little while to get down this road. There we go, but we could have been past them much earlier. So advanced planning, looking at where you're going and what's happening around you. So coming up to the Hellaby roundabout now, and in the offside lane, looking at the roundabout, that was good, nicely round on the offside, and a nice burst of speed just to get you past that white hatchback there into the left hand lane with the arrows. Yep, all nicely done, that, nicely planned. And now we're through Hellaby on the approach to Maltby. I've just put this section in because I wanted you to take note of the safety position. We've discussed position 1, 2 and 3, so there you're taking up position 3 in the offside, but you've got oncoming. So now a drift over to 2, which is better, I think you realise there. But again, there's nothing on the near side, so you could have actually had position 1 here. Well, these just to maximise that distance between the traffic. Again, repeated here, you drift into position 3 when you should certainly be at a minimum being 2. Again, oncoming there, just turning into your path, keep well away from it, and try and maximise your safety bubble as we've discussed. Now coming up to the right hand turn towards East Retford, Roach Abbey, nothing coming there, but a quick shoulder check, a lifesaver as we call it, might have been helpful. Through the 30s here, and now just coming up into the Nationals. There's your Nationals, that's where you want the exaggerated mirror check. Look at your position there as well, position 3 with those 2 oncoming vehicles. But yeah, we got off up to speed, came across this white car which we followed for a good couple of miles, and never really looked as though we were going to overtake it. I think because you're too far back, you're not really in an overtake position. Here's a place where you can drop back and safety position with those oncoming, but as soon as we clear these solids, then you should be pushing up to the back of the car now to have a look, is there an opportunity to overtake him, but you just sat there, and so the opportunities disappeared with that oncoming. Possibly could have had him there, it might have been a bit tight with those junctions on the right, but this is a good section for cross views. If you look to your right now, you can see the road bending to the right, nothing coming down it, and as we clear this bend, it would have been the perfect opportunity just to zip past this car there. But again, too far back, not in an overtaking position, and we remain stuck behind him. And you can see this goes on for a little while. Coming up now to a fairly sharp left-hander, again cross view to the left becomes apparent, which you should be looking for. It's a bit high over this hedge at the moment, but constantly scanning left and right for cross views to give an indication of anything that may be coming along. There it is, that's the left-hander, and again really started to move. You needed to move up into an overtake position, because as soon as we clear this bend, you can have a look what's on. And there you decide to go, but I went with you, but actually that's where you shouldn't have overtaken, right on that junction. I wanted to catch that on film so you could see it clearly. Nice safety position here, just keeping to the offside position 3 with that car emerging from the junction, and a nice drift over into position 1 for these oncoming. So you were doing it some of the time. It was just the consistency in this first part of the ride that you were missing some safety on oncoming vehicles. Nicely out into position 2 for those junctions on the left and drifting back to 1. That was quite good. Position 2 again for the junction on the left. That's nice. And I think you're picking up the safety position a little bit better on this stretch now. This is a nice section, some nice bends, and you can really show your understanding of taking bends on this bit. Maybe a drift out to position 3 for the left-hander there, and now into 1, taking up an early position to increase your view around the right-hander. You're in 2 there, so you could really have pushed left a bit more. Your left-handers are better. You tend to get into position 3 quite comfortably, but just lacking a little bit on pushing left for your right-handers. Moving over to position 1 for safety there, that was good. Stay in 1, you drift back to 2, and now into 3. That's okay, but again you could have pushed a little bit wider, use more of the road. Okay, we've just gone past the hotel at Blythe over this humpback bridge. Again, push up to the car in front when there's potentially an overtake on round the bend, and you set yourself up for a much more rapid reaction. There's the option, albeit as an oncoming now. But again, if you'd have pushed up to this vehicle, what we could have been doing is out now, have a look, check, go, and we'd have had plenty of time to do that car before these 30s coming up. The 30s there should have been an exaggerated mirror check. So we've gone through Blythe and on the way to Retford, still following this silver hatchback. Overtake that you did there was not really on because of that junction on the right and that driveway on the right. You should have just hung on here, waited until you were quite sure. I've still got an oncoming, so I'm waiting, but I know there's nothing behind it. I know there's nothing on the offside, so I'm out and gone past. That would have been the safe place to do the overtake. This overtake here was okay, quite safe, and nicely executed really, but I think he gave a signal. I think you've done that on a couple of times. You've got an oncoming there, so he's thinking, why is that bike signaling? Is he going to come out? It's unnecessary. So as we discussed in debrief, you don't need to signal every time you overtake, and certainly you don't need to give a return signal to when you're coming back in. Just coming to Retford now, and this is what I was talking about, your feet. You're slowing down, and then your feet touches down, and you destabilise your bike, not quite sure where you're going with it, then an acceleration, and again a foot down on the other side. So we'll do some work on slow riding in traffic. Here I thought you could have been straight down the offside here on a filter. We could have done 2 or 3 cars there without any danger before those oncoming got close. And after the debrief, you'll see the second part of the ride. So if you go on to the part 2 film, you'll see a much improved ride.